Before I let you go, I have one more thing, one last thing, one more thing, a lightning round. Before I let you go, one more thing, 6 more questions, a lightning round. You ready? One more thing. These 6 questions you can answer in one word, you can answer in a sentence or so, but we'll be fast.
Okay.
What makes you happy?
Oh, there's a lot, but I'll just say I have a great dog, Innes. So my English Cocker Spaniel.
One last thing, 6 more questions. Ready?
Let's do it.
What makes you happy?
My children and my grandchildren. I know that is the pat answer, but what makes me happiest in the work I'm doing right now is when I have people reach out to me in all kinds of messages on all kinds of platforms and one walked up to me at the gym yesterday and said this. His name is Paul, by the way. They say, I don't really know much about the law, but when you explain it daily on your YouTube channel or nightly in your Substack community meetings, which we have every night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, I understand it. I get it. That is the most reinforcing and motivating and gratifying and it makes me so happy.
What makes you happy?
Visiting my late wife at Washington Crossing National Cemetery.
What makes you happy?
My wife and daughter.
What makes you happy?
Reading.
Before I let you go, what makes you happy?
Helping people.
What makes you angriest?
Bullies and injustice.
What makes you angriest?
This is going to sound very abstract, but injustice. And I can give a slightly people who are in the Department of Justice who know better. Makes me extremely disappointed. Is not even doesn't even begin because I just how much they are hurting that institution and what they owe the public.
What makes you angriest?
An absence of ethics in government service, in public service. We need a renaissance of ethics in government because people are in those positions to serve the people. And they are, I'm trying not to cuss, they are being as disrespectful to the American people as is imaginable.
What makes me angriest? It brings tears to my eyes. I hate it. I hate what I see happening to this country. I grew up around the Liberty Bell and Independence Hall, and I believe in every part of the American experiment, and I hate what's happening here right now.
What makes you angriest?
Donald Trump.
That was an easy one. What makes you angriest?
Lies. The country lying to itself. Yeah.
What is your favorite word?
Suboptimal. Which I've also been able to use a lot the last year and a half.
I believe you. What is your favorite word?
Oh, wow, that's great. Kindness.
What living person do you most admire?
This is going to be sappy. My sister.
Do you want to say in a sentence why?
She is an oncologist. She's incredibly caring. I think she's just it's a wonderful way to spend your life. And she has lived a very fearless life.
What is your favorite word?
At this moment in my life, it's accountability.
What living person do you most admire?
Barack Obama.
What is your favorite word?
Phrase or word? My favorite word, that's an endeavor.
What living person do you most admire?
Ooh, that's an excellent question. Oh, Volodymyr Zelensky. I was in the Ukrainian army. I served under him. I love that man. He is the true leader of the West.
What historical person do you most admire?
Mm. That's a tough one because I got a couple of them. And that, if I could ever meet them in history. I'm going to tell you something most people don't understand with African Americans. They all go, Lincoln, right? No, I've read multiple histories of George Washington. That guy could have had it all. I live near Newburgh. Newburgh, when he gave the Newburgh address at the end of the war, when the army was going to go into rebellion and make him a king. And he said, that's not what we just fought all this for. You'll get paid eventually, but we got to do this the right way. And then he was elected president. I admire Washington greatly. He is really what made America.
What is your favorite word?
Defiance.
And you wear it on your hat, so there's no doubt about it. What living person do you most admire?
My wife.
What is your favorite word?
Complexity.
What living person do you most admire?
Oh, what living person I most admire? My mom.
Do you want to give a sentence why? Sentence may not be enough.
No, 9th grade, she had her first baby. And her and my dad raised some extraordinary people under extraordinary circumstances. They are giants in my view. And my mom is the most loving person.
What historical person do you most admire?
So many.
Hard to pick.
Hard to pick. What historical person I most admire? These days, I would say Douglass. Frederick Douglass, yeah, these days. But, Baldwin will show up another day. Malcolm X might show up on another day. So, so it all depends on which day you catch me.
What historical person do you most admire?
Wow, these are great questions. I think Martin Luther King Jr., just in what he accomplished, the dignity in which he did it, what he had to overcome, and the role model he set, maybe not always, his personal life, but in terms of how he conducted himself in the face of enormous adversity, and ways in which he took the high road but was effective.
What historical person do you most admire?
Abraham Lincoln. Be sure to put your feet in the right place, then stand firm. I have that on my wall as well. I had that tacked up on my cork board as a federal prosecutor my entire career. That's what we have to do. Put our feet in the right place, then stand firm.
What historical person do you most admire?
It's a tough one. Maybe Baruch Spinoza? That's going to be a little esoteric for some people.
Well, say a sentence or two. Why?
He's a political philosopher that made the case that God is nature and nature is God, and derived an entire epistemology, ethics, politics, etc. from that philosophy. But
I suspect I'm
not super wedded to Baruch Spinoza as the answer.
Because you want option B, or are you good with that?
On his opinions in public, but we'll keep it as the answer for right now. I want more people to go read Spinoza.
Well, there you go. And by the way, can I say, I think you're the first person who said that, and you'll probably be the last person who picks it.
But you know what? I went into our nice local bookstore here in Washington, D.C., Politics and Prose, the other week, and I went to the philosophy section. There was like a whole shelf on Baruch Spinoza, and I said, someone here who's stocking books is a fanboy or fangirl of this long dead 17th century philosopher, such as it is.
What living person do you most admire?
Zelensky.
What historical person do you most admire?
I'm going to go with two, Franklin and Eleanor Roosevelt.
The combination, or each of them separately?
I mean, actually, each of them separately. Like, fascinating fascinating figures, separately, but also kind of a yin and yang of the Democratic Party over the last, 100 years.
The last question, what gives you hope?
Resistance. The thing I would say is, we talked a little bit about this. The most important thing to remember is that there are countries in which there are democracies or former democracies or fledgling democracies in which authoritarian strongmen have come into power, and they are deeply popular in their countries. And the most important thing that differentiates America from those places is that there is a deep opposition and resistance to what Trump is doing. And it's always important to remember that the regime, the administration, all wants to make everyone feel alone and that they're kind of crazy, thinking these things are thinking like this level of corruption must be driving everyone crazy. But you turn on your TV and it feels relatively normal, and people are treating this like a normal presidency. But the most important thing to remember is that a strong majority of this country is opposed to Donald Trump and what he is doing. And our job is to harness and grow that opposition to save the country. And that's what keeps me hopeful and optimistic, is that there are many more of us than them for our vision of the future. It doesn't always feel that way. It didn't feel that way in 2024, but now that people can actually see what it means to have a corrupt authoritarian as president, they do not like it.
Yeah, and look, Americans get a chance to prove that they are a collective force that can overcome it. So here's to an expansion of your reasons for your hope, because there's more people who understand their responsibility to resist. What gives you hope?
What gives me hope? This is where I'm a trial lawyer at heart, and I've done lots of trials, and I have enormous faith in the jury system. And because of that, and I know it's not a scientific experiment where it's a huge amount of data, but I think that Americans sitting on juries act out of principle and rise to the occasion and have common sense, and more than that, have decency. And so that to me is a bit of a North Star when I think about and am hopeful for the future. If I can give one quick second answer, I will say I feel the same way about the students I teach at NYU Law School. I'm sure it's true around the country at law schools and other institutions, but it is invigorating to see the intelligence, the wisdom, the commitment of young people. And it, as somebody who's not young, it is just so inspiring, and again makes you feel hopeful about what they can do, which we managed to screw up.
What gives you hope?
The people who are engaging in the fight for democracy in all ways, large and small. And I would encourage everybody to find ways that comport with your comfort level to get involved. My wife, my better three-quarters, who is a career immigration lawyer, now retired, her comfort level is postcard writing to encourage people to vote. And she and her friends get together and do that until their hands cramp up. Everybody can find a way that comports with your comfort level, but it feels so good to engage because, justice is a team sport and we all need to be in the game at this point.
What gives me hope is, I got to tell you, there are a lot of young guys out there. Some of these guys, Isaiah Martin, Talarico in Texas. But I'm really liking these guys who speak up about their time.
The last question, what gives you hope?
Look, ultimately, it's that we are the ones who are going to control what direction this all goes. There's a saying I'm fond of, that nature destroys everything it creates, but it also creates from everything it destroys. Things can get very, very bad. We could have the worst case outcome for democracy. It could end. But literally from the ashes of anything, you can rebuild. We always have a choice to reconstitute what we've built. Now, I don't think that this whole situation is going to end up in ashes. Not after the midterms, not after the 2028 election. We may have deep damage to our democracy, but the resilience, not just of our republic, but of people in general, is what gives me hope. And I know that even after really, really bad times, we're going to be able to rebuild. And I feel confident in that. And especially because of the resistance and the defiance we've seen in this country in the past year. It gives me hope that people want to fight for this thing.
Yeah, and let's never underestimate the power of the idea of self-governance, right? And whatever shape it takes from decade to decade or century to century, the desire for people to rule their own lives and put in place a government that represents that is a singular idea that will ultimately never go out of favor.
Give me 1 second. Hold on. Just realized I mentioned Spinoza, and I just pulled him off the bookshelf. Ethics by Benedict de Spinoza, out now. Buy your copy. Been out for about 400 years. Why
never goes out of favor.
Now?
There you go.
If I can inspire one person to get into political,
what gives you hope?
Other human beings, us. I know we have the capacity to be monsters, but we also have the capacity to be miracles. And I want to double down on the capacity of human beings to be miraculous. So yeah, us.
And in this moment, with all of its tragedy, with all of its complexity, with all of its horror, you still carry hope about where we're going.
I do, but in this moment, as my student taught me, she said, perhaps it's not about hope. She said, what we need to do is to tell the truth, carried with love, and lit by rage. So we have to bear witness. We have to bear witness in our time, and maybe that will open up the space for hope to flourish.
Well, that sounds exactly like the place we ought to conclude. So thank you very much. Really appreciate you taking the time.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for those questions.
Andrew, you're working on it so to find a way to fix this. So thanks for the book. Thanks for your conversation. Let's just keep up the good fight. That's all we can do, right?
Thanks for having me.
Great being with you, Stephen.
It's been my pleasure. I like this format.
Thank you.
Stephen, great to be with you, my friend. Thanks.
Thanks.